Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Yashika. I'm a professional tarot card reader. Instagram पर आप सबने मुझसे कुछ क्वेश्चंस ऐसे पूछे थे जो मुझे लगा कि इनको मैं एक 60 सेकंड की वीडियो में नहीं बना सकती, मुझे इनके लिए टाइम चाहिए इनको आंसर करने के लिए। तो मैंने वही किया, मैंने टाइम लिया and then I wrote down all your questions and then I started answering them one by one. एंड द गुड थिंग इज कि ये जितने भी क्वेश्चंस हैं ये बहुत डीप क्वेश्चंस हैं, बहुत स्पिरिचुअल, बहुत मेडिटेटिव क्वेश्चंस हैं. So the very first question is, which direction should we focus on for our personal growth? There is one direction जिसमें अगर आप जाओगे तो आपको वो चीज ना कभी भी डिसअपॉइंट नहीं करेगी, and that one direction is for your personal growth. That is working on your relationships. And I am not saying having a good relationship with your partner, because yes, that helps obviously, but I'm talking about having a good relationship with your family, with your friends, of course your partner, but especially the people who are around you. What I mean when I say that having a good relationship with the people around you, because what happens is when you start building a good relationship with your near and dear ones, two things happen. The first thing that happens is you start understanding yourself and you start understanding others. So there is emotional growth in your own emotional intelligence. And when emotional intelligence grows in one person, then you start growing spiritually, because you start putting yourself in other people's shoes. And that's when your mind actually opens up, right? And the other thing that happens is you get a feeling of gratitude within yourself. You don't become dependent on a romantic relationship. You develop a sense of love and security between, amongst yourself and amongst the people who are around you. मेरा कहने का point ये है that when you work on your personal relationships as the first step in your personal growth, you see कि आपको आपकी लाइफ की जर्नी में ना बहुत सपोर्ट मिलेगा उन लोगों से जिनके साथ आप सच में एक हेल्थी रिलेशनशिप डेवलप करते हो. अगर आपके पास रिलेशनशिप्स नहीं है, देन आपके पास कुछ भी नहीं है. अगर आपको अपनी लाइफ में आगे बढ़ना है ना, then you should have people who will catch you if you fall. Spiritually bhi, if you want to grow, you need people around you who will understand you and whom you can understand. If you want to grow in your career, you need a good set of networks. ऐसे लोग चाहिए जो आपको आगे बढ़ा सकते हैं. सपोर्ट सिस्टम चाहिए. इनर सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस के लिए आपको अपने पेरेंट्स का वैलिडेशन चाहिए होता है. बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें हैं जो विदाउट रिलेशन गुड रिलेशनशिप्स इन योर लाइफ ना वो नहीं हो पाती है. आई ऑलवेज से कि पहला जो स्टेप है पर्सनल ग्रोथ का वो यही होता है कि तुम अब सबसे पहले अपने आसपास वाली रिलेशनशिप सुधारो. रिलेशनशिप सुधरेंगी ना तो बाकी दुनिया ऐसी लगेगी कि ठीक है, अब सब कॉन्कर कर लेंगे हम, अब सब हो जाएगा. I feel like this is something that we all can work on, and I started working on my relationships after my breakup with my ex-partner, whom I loved so much at that point of time. And obviously जब एक वो इतना बड़ा हिस्सा तुम्हारी लाइफ से चला जाता है, it leaves a very big void in your life. एंड दैट्स द मोमेंट व्हेन आई रियलाइज्ड कि मेरी लाइफ में ना लव सिर्फ उस रोमांटिक रिलेशनशिप से नहीं आएगा. मेरी लाइफ में एक सेंस ऑफ फुलफिलमेंट, एक सेंस ऑफ ग्रैटिट्यूड, इट विल कम व्हेन आई स्टार्ट डेवलपिंग हेल्दी रिलेशनशिप्स विद द पीपल हु आर ऑलरेडी अराउंड मी, especially with my parents and my own sibling. And yeah, I feel like ये एक ऐसी डायरेक्शन है जिसमें अगर आप जाओगे तो इसके बाद ना सब कुछ इजी लगेगा. अगर पर्सनल रिलेशनशिप्स अच्छी हैं then इसके बाद तुम किसी भी तरीके से ग्रो कर पाओ. The next question is, how can I start my spiritual journey? Any guidance would be very much appreciated. पहले तुम ये समझते हैं कि spirituality है क्या? Also, if you are asking questions like this, then you are already on that path. You are on the right path actually. समझते हैं कि spirituality है क्या? The most in essence, spirituality का जो essence है ना, वो यही है that आप खुद को खुद से मिला रहे हो. And if you are unable to meet yourself in that journey, then it's not spirituality. अपनी ईगो तोड़ना, अपनी ईगो को साइड रख के चीजों को देखना, जो हमें लगता है कि हमारा एक आइडिया ऑफ सेल्फ है, कि अगर ये चीज नहीं है, इफ आई एम नॉट याशिका देन हु एम आई, इफ आई एम नॉट अ टैरो कार्ड रीडर देन हु एम आई, वो जो मेरा आइडिया ऑफ सेल्फ अगर वो नहीं है तो मैं क्या हूँ। अपने आप को ना, जो हमने ऐसे करके पहाड़ बनाया हुआ है, उसको तोड़ना, दैट्स spirituality. How can you start your spiritual journey? Is by starting to know yourself. Know yourself first, and then you'll know everything else. Now, there are different ways to do that. And for me, it has always been analyzing myself, my own behavior, my own emotions, and what triggers them. If you are familiar with psychology, then Freud talked about your conscious and unconscious mind, and Jung talked about your shadow self. Spirituality is a lot about meeting that shadow self, the part that you hide away from the world, and bringing it in the front so that you can meet it. You can see yourself in the mirror, and making those bad qualities that you think about yourself that are bad qualities, making them your friends. That's what spirituality is in the beginning, of course. But if I have been on this journey for 7 years now, and at this point, my spirituality is just devotion. That's it. Devotion in everything I do. But that's like years of years of practice. um for you, meditation could be something else that you may want to try. And there are three parts of meditation. There is concentration, contemplation, that is the introspection of yourself, and then you come to meditation. So what we do in our daily lives is not exactly meditation. It's just that we are trying to concentrate and we are just trying to contemplate. But meditation, the third step, it is a state of mind. After a point of time, you stop concentrating and contemplating because you've done it so much. It becomes a habit of your daily life. It becomes something that is a part of your everyday life. Even if you're washing clothes, even if you're washing dishes, you are in a state of a meditative mind. You are not thinking about other things. You are completely present in that one moment where you're washing dishes or washing your clothes. That's what meditation does to you after years of practice. But for you, in your meditations, try to contemplate, try to introspect. Why? Go to that root cause of things. It will help you a lot. Now, this brings me to my next question. Meditation for stress free mind, and also the best time to do meditation. As I have already explained, meditation is a three-part thing. It's concentration, contemplation, and meditation. So, meditation, forget about that last part. Let's just come to the first two parts, that is concentration and contemplation. For a stress free mind, you must analyze yourself a lot. But I'm not saying that analyze yourself to the point of overthinking. Analyze yourself to the point of where you are able to find the root cause of your problems, where you are able to find out why is something triggering you. Why are you becoming angry? Why are you feeling those heavy emotions? Now, meditation for a stress free mind. Of course, meditation is a good tool to manage your stress levels. But how do you do it exactly? Meditation is not about stopping thought. Meditation is not about stopping stress from coming to you. It is a tool that helps you manage whenever stress comes your way. So, as I said, it is not about stopping thought, it is about observing your thoughts. It is not about being an active participant in that thought, it is about being a passive observer of that thought. So, for example, if I'm stressed, I have an exam tomorrow, but I'm so stressed, what am I going to do? What is going to happen? I will sit down and I will think about it. I will not think to the point of giving myself a panic attack, but I will let that thought come. I will see it from a third person's perspective, and then I will let it go. And then I will bring my own mind to the point where I'm sitting right now, sitting in this state of meditation. Thought comes, You see thought, thought go, mind come back. This is monkey language for meditation. Thought come, thought see, thought go. You don't go with thought, you bring yourself back. And this is something that creates the elasticity, that creates resilience. So even if you keep on practicing that, it will take months, years, no matter how much time it takes, but you practice it every day. You observe your thought, you don't go with that thought, you let that thought go, but you come back to that present moment where you're sitting and where you are observing that thought. This is what builds resilience. When you bring yourself back, you are building resilience. No matter what situation comes your way, you would be able to stand like a tree. You won't go away with that situation. You would be able to stand like a tree. Now, the best time to do a meditation, let me tell you something, and this may be a bit controversial, but for me, I always do meditation. Any practice actually that calms me down, any practice that helps me rejuvenate myself, any practice that helps me nourish myself, for example, meditation, I always do it when I am already in that state of meditation. Why I do that? For example, if you are someone who likes to work out, if you are someone who likes to go to the gym, when you come home after that gym, you are completely calm. You are in already in that state of meditation where you're happy, where your dopamine is high, where your serotonin levels are high, and you are just already in that state of meditation. That's when you should do meditation. Why? Because as I told you, when you are doing meditation in those times of happiness, you are sustaining those moments of happiness for a longer period of time. But when you are doing meditation in the moments of stress, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't do, you should absolutely do, because it does help when you do meditations in during stressful times. But you may not be able to concentrate. But when you are doing meditation, deep meditation, in the times of stress, you won't be able to think properly. You won't be able to have a sound thought. You won't be able to have clarity because your mind is already stressed. It's not going to help you sit down and concentrate on one thing. But when you're happy, when you're already in that state of cosmic energy, it is best to do your meditations then when you're relaxed, when when your nervous system is completely relaxed, because then you would be able to sustain that essence of meditation for a longer period of time. And when that stressful situation comes, maybe the next day, you would be able to handle it like that. That's what the best time for a meditation is. Next question: where can I find my most authentic self? How can I be that? Will meditation help me in this journey? It depends upon what kind of meditation you're doing. So, the function of a meditation is not to build yourself. The function of a meditation is to throw away anything that you are not out of your life so that you end up becoming that shunyata, that singularity. That's what the the idea of a meditation is. So that's what the purpose, you can say, of a meditation is, to bring you to a singularity. The idea of finding an authentic self is, and I'm going to be very honest with you, the idea of authentic self is quite absurd to me, because as we grow up, we will change. The self that you are right now, you were not this a year ago. You are probably a completely different person now than you were a year ago. And in that process of constantly changing, you cannot actually think about having an authentic self. It all comes and it all goes. Right now, what seems authentic to you may be spirituality, it may not be authentic to you in the coming year. Or politics may become authentic to you in the coming year. My point is that the idea of authentic self, बहुत ज़्यादा ना इसको हवा दे रखी है अभी, and ये अपने आप शांत होएगी हवा. But for a teenage girl, for a teenage boy, what's authentic to them is their education, maybe. What's authentic to them are their emotions that they may go through during that time. For an adult, what's authentic to them could be their job, could be the way they process their emotions at that point of time, could be the hobbies that they have created over time. But authenticity is a concept which you should understand that authenticity is nothing. No one is ever authentic. There are going to be situations where you may have to please people in order to fit in order to survive, in order to, you may have to say things that you don't want to say in order to keep your job. You may have to, and I'm being very realistic about this. The idea of authenticity is so pushed these days. What is authenticity to a mom raising two kids? Her authenticity becomes her children. Same for a father, who maybe for a single father who is raising two kids. That's what his authenticity becomes, his children. The idea is very simple. Authenticity, the only thing authentic in this life, in your life, as I said, when you keep on introspecting yourself, so that is when you keep on meditating on yourself, when you keep on introspecting yourself, basically, you keep on throwing away the things that you are not. The purpose is not to find more things about yourself that feel authentic to you. The purpose is to throw away the things from your life that don't feel authentic to you. The idea of an authentic self is not real. It's not real. It is empowering. It is empowering, but it's not real. And that's the harsh truth. What you find authentic now, you may not find it authentic in the coming years. What will you do then? What will you do then? You will find something else to be authentic about. That's what you'll do. But it's not about accumulating things. Spirituality is not about that. Meditation is not about that. It's about renouncing things. It's about letting things go. It's about letting go the parts of yourself that are not you. The only thing that is authentic is nothing. Even me sitting here right now, am I being authentic? Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But what I'm saying right now, I can change it. I can change this statement in the coming months. And there's no guarantee that it will be authentic to me. To answer your question, try to find things that are not you. Don't try to find things that are you. Try to find things that are not you and don't touch them again, and do not allow them back into your life. Whether it's an emotion, it's a thing, people, if they don't seem true to yourself, then just don't interact with them. It's about authenticity is more about letting go than it is about letting in. Thank you.